Hi, it's Dr. Andrew Persistent. This is Omaha's. This is Source Radio. So it's our podcast, daily podcast today. They may be going on to paid subscription eventually, very soon. But these are the fast forwards, so you know where we're going. These are the freebie kind of teasers just to see where humanity's going. May put price points even lower just to help people out, or at least leave price points at a minimum low, where those that are helping and affecting can help out and stuff and be helped out. Helping out some people and some of the businesses that were saying yesterday. Some other businesses we're going to talk about shortly, things that can enhance humanity, and then the nature of those that can't afford but still are interested can contact me, and we can set up, or you can set up with affiliates, sort of programs to help them. It would be like helping Elon Musk with mowing his lawn, doing things like this, so he has more free time to enjoy his business as well as his life. He's worked hard. You would not believe the crap that I go through and they go through, all these people that are going through. Now, they have money as such. It's true, right? But I'm going to give some freebies. I've given some big freebies. The thing is, if you can't afford it and you're still valued and you want it, I'm reaching out to you. You reach out to me. It's fair, okay? It doesn't have to be wealth all the time. I can set you up with people in your area. You can do work and service for them. It doesn't have to be directly to me. They can potentiate me, and they know how, and they can figure that out. So tropicals, the diet as such, think about this. We're eating meat. I've tried sub-vegan on so many levels. There is such thing as vegan, but you're never born a vegan. There's breast milk, okay? So it doesn't seem logical. The next logical thing is dairy on every level. Any animal is, unless plant-based, any animal that is nature, it doesn't work. Once you're weaned off the titty, never go back to a titty, unless you're doing tantras, of course. But the truth is, once again, I'm going to say the truth is, but the truth is, dairy is garbage. 100% garbage. Take it out of the diet. It not only is it weight gain, low back pain, ileocecal valve, which is digestive problem. The digestive, we're going to see it as simply as an applied kinesiology, anatomical digestive problem. Applied kinesiology, by the way, for those that are looking for health and health remediation, find a true applied kinesiologist. You can find Dr. Leaf online at icak.usa, and he can outsource to people that he reputes as decent quality. You have Brimhall, you have Dr. Tim Francis in Vegas, you have Gorman and Dr. Babsiner in Pennsylvania as such. There's some on the east coast of the states. Generally in the Asia, I don't know who's working in the Asian countries in the nature of applied kinesiology. There was a gentleman that came from Ikamoto or someone that came, maybe the name is wrong. They came to a seminar, flew in for seminars into the Chicago area where I was going to chiropractic college. Incidentally, you can find him. He's probably decent as such. And then there's a handful of others that went to national with myself, and there's some down. I mean, there's chiropractors that are decent. We're getting into streamlining into naturopathic, which is a good profession for kids if you're getting into kids as such. To do holism. We know allopathic. True allopathic is going to be reframed and helped by my soulmate as such, Godddess M. And then we get into the nature of what is tropical. So the ideal diet is sub-vegan doesn't work. 100% I've tried it. Sub-vegan doesn't work. We're meaning leaves, roots, and seeds. It's very hard to do, but that's potential. Okay, it's very hard to do, but it's potential. Very hard to do, I'll tell you. Eggs, it seems like, is needed at base. I've been on eggs as vegetarian and health, pro-health. Vegan is very hard unless you're doing it well. Some females can do it as such. Pretty damn hard. Even today, I went back, and we're talking about 3 weeks, 2 insets of beef sandwich because I couldn't hack the methionine restriction. Mental health, not mental health as you would say mental health illness, but sort of craving for food at this point in time. Not a food craving that you think as a food craving, but sort of like a starving kind of thing that I eat some beef and it's gone. Now the mentalities, now we're going to call them mentalities, 3 things. B12, anyone can get by B12 restriction. That's very fair. egg and stuff, very fair. But even as a vegan, you can restrict B12 and do okay on mushroom, yeast, and algae. Very possible. We can take algae from rivers and stuff in the mountains. It's very easy, right? So B12, not an essence. We can all do B12. I've done it, and anyone could go through the psychosis or mild psychosis of B12 restriction. Methionine, definitely harder, and it's quite a bit harder, but it's possible on some levels. We can all adapt to methionine restriction. Sesame seed is possible, but look at the amount of sesame seed you have to do to avoid beef. Now, hopefully, and I'm going to check it out, methionine is probably more likely in some goat. Now, we're moving up to higher mountains. Think about the animals. Bat in a cave, edible. You got like mice and stuff that are edible, rats and stuff. Not rats, they're garbage, sort of down below in garbage city streets. But mice and such, sort of animals that are like, not muskrats, they're in the water and stuff. But, mountain kind of animals that are sort of not crawlers, you can eat centipedes and stuff, very much possible. The alchemist rays were moving up into cave life, mountain kind of stuff. So trees and foliage become essentially nuts and seeds that are not tropical nuts and seeds like cashews or, say, coconut, but into walnut. I'll talk into the goji berry kind of stuff in a little bit. But we're moving into pine nuts, like pine trees in the lower forest, and then higher. Remember, forest doesn't go up way high in the mountains, but that's how high you can go up into it, where you're into cave life. Cave life as such are into even ashrams and temples and such. So in BC, what does it look like? Tame and easy. But in the Himalayas, a little bit harder. We're adapting more. There are indwelling caves. I'm going to talk about the indwelling caves a little bit later, but essentially 144,000 in the Himalayas is still possible, okay? Now, if it becomes ridiculously hard, then we got to figure out how we're doing this. But essentially, 144,000 in BC is very easy in the Whistler. Enough sort of population of hostels and hotels and such. It's probably doable. I don't know the population count on beds and stuff, but it's probably doable in Whistler as such as the second to last. And then the higher ashrams that are built and temples that are built in Himalayas as the last final destination. It's probably doable too. I just haven't seen it as such. Maybe even more doable than Whistler as such and BC as such. We may have to figure out if Whistler is the only one. Generally, there's some places around that area. Why are we adapting to higher mountains? Because remember, we're climatizing to Venus, which is different barometric. I haven't done the stats on it. No one has been to Venus as such. We've gone to Mars as such. Mars is a dead planet. Venus seems as possible life. I've seen it remote viewing as such. Whereas a dead planet, why would we repopulate a dead planet when it's already dead? Doesn't make sense. We got to look for life, a true life. I see it as on Venus. We've done Final Countdown as Venus. Where does that come from? Same stuff that I'm getting from. We're channeling something. Okay, so the process is diet, leaves, vegetables, fruit are sort of real fruit, but not tropical fruit. Why are we phasing out tropical? Pollution down in the baselands. It's hotter in the baselands. We're moving up to cooler areas because radiation, the sun is expanding. Sun is burning off chemicals. Radiation an issue. Hopefully it's not radiation that's in the actual, say, reactors that is going to kill us as such. And that's why I want it stopped. But the diet is leaves, roots, and such. Very easy. You're thinking mountainous kind of stuff. Himalayas, BC kind of stuff, and then backtracking Europe and such. And tropicals are becoming sun, but even less frequent. We're going to Europe, vacations to Europe, because Europe is kind of cool, meaning cool as in cool, like hanging out. It's kind of nice. You can get to a city and by a train. You can go to 4 different countries in a day or two. It's very much cool, okay? Asia, not that it's uncool, but a little bit more risky and such. Even to drink water and such in some of these places is kind of not right. We're adopting and we've adopted. I'm not saying North America and Europe is kind of cool, but it's different. Even as such, if you defame Canada, you can. I'm a Canadian. I say defame it. Europe is sort of a place of refuge for even celebrities in Canada as well as the States. It's just the way of the world. They got cool stuff. They're close proximity. Borders, eventually borders will be non-borders. Crime will be non-crime. 144,000 know who they are at some point. So diet is sort of mountain, tropical dead because, look, Earth was once flat. It was tropical as such. Dinosaurs and stuff, that kind of stuff. Tropical. It expanded. Mountain equators, volcano, erupting, tectorial plates, moving, vibrating, landmass, mountains going up higher. Now, Jesus, move mountains with your mind. There's a bunch of them. Buddha, Jesus, all these guys, a long time ago, seeing this. That mountains were going higher. They talked about 2,000 years ago, you didn't even understand. It's okay. They may not have even understood, although they sort of saw it and they said it. They may not have even known why they said it, but they did know it. Okay, so mountains going up. You're thinking diet. Roots, vegetables, meat. Meat is generally mountainous meat. We're adapting to mountainous meat, so we're eating sort of bats in caves. Now mushrooms, remember, forests are still below, but mushrooms are growing in caves and stuff. Now they're enhanced. They're not button mushrooms as such. Even shiitake mushrooms as such, which are in grocery stores, we're getting into the more exotic, and even into the magic mushrooms and such, if you're doing it as such, cave mushrooms and such. We're licking salt off of walls and stuff. We're getting salt. We're going into water and getting out sort of minerals and stuff from the water. We're eating bugs and such that are in the water and such. Salamanders, these kind of things, and that's how we're getting meat. Goat that are climbing in the mountains and such. Cougars, probably not eating cougars or bears, but that's potential. Eminem's going to take down a bear for me. Maybe Bono eat a bat for me. I don't know, things like this, okay? But you guys know who you are. The girls know the ladies. Ladies and gents? No, ladies and lords? Okay, that's where we're going, okay? So thinking roots, vegetables, plants, berries are real berries that are grown up in them. I'll talk about the goji berry dilemma as such. Herbs and such are the ones that are grown in the mountains as such. We're backtracking, getting acclimatized. Really, we shouldn't be taking Himalayan salt at this point in time and exhausting the salt. If there's enough of it, we can start, but we should actually backtrack and use the second to last. But really, we should get into the mountains to exhaust the salts that are in where? Europe. We're going to do the third last. Then we're going to exhaust the salts that are coming from BC, kind of Canada, Alberta kind of stuff. And then we're going to exhaust, New York may even have some salt, these kind of mountains and such. Utah, salt in the mountains. And then we're going to exhaust the Himalayan salt. So we kind of did that wrong. Sea salt is devalued. Sea salt is kind of useless to eat. Maybe to clean if you want to clean, but I don't even think that is such for deodorants and such. Sea salt and chocolate and such. Listen, where are you even eating chocolate for health? Chocolate's found birthed in the mountain. We're eating it in the mountain. You're getting a buzz. You don't need so much chocolate. There's real chocolate and fake chocolate. We know this as true. The people that are at this point in time know real chocolate and fake chocolate. The real chocolate is what? Dark chocolate, milk. Out. Milk out right now. Instantaneously? No, really, milk out. Even all kinds of milk. There's some milk that's better if you want to wean off as such. You're getting to goat milk, but buffalo milk is plains and stuff. Goat milk possible if you're doing milk. But generally milk at some level, you should take it out or get off the cattle and start working towards goat milk. Can you imagine trying to train or capture and milk a goat in the mountain? Kind of hard to capture a goat mountain and stuff. So you can kill or net a goat a lot easier than you can milk a goat, okay? Even a pasture, it's kind of hard to tame. You have to build a fence and tame a cow as such. Now we have all these, cows in cages and such. Read yesterday's post or watch yesterday's posts on what milk is done for or should be used for to acclimatize. But dairy is very much useless. So we have meat, the real meats. I don't care. Even as a vegan, I went back to meat all the time. Now, where are true vegans in present day getting their source from? Dairy and egg and baking. 100%. I fail 100% every time with vegan. There's no true vegans. Even incidentally, on leaves and stuff, there's bacteria or bugs. There's no true vegans. I'll tell you 100%, it's damn hard to be healthy. As a chiropractic educated man and someone that was vegan as such, every time I went back to something, and you would notice too, either some kind of dairy, and look, even ketchup chips have dairy. Now, in the U.S. or Americans, we're going to call them Americans, ketchup chips, they don't even have ketchup chips. They think it's kind of funny that Canadians have ketchup chips. But like Heinz ketchup chips. But there's trace amounts of milk product in Now look, ranch dressing, white creamy dressing. You're drinking coffee, it better be black if you're calling yourself vegan. Butter flavor, vegan, nowhere close. Now look, some other products that have dairy in it. We have the ketchup chips, all ranch, sour cream, and then the other one, Doritos, Cheetos, all those are very much vegan, nowhere close being vegan. So the three chips that aren't chips, even to the fourth, which kind of confounds people, tomato chips, Cool Ranch, all dressed, and sour cream and onion. Those dairy, 100%. If you don't understand that, those are dairy. And then baking, if you were to eat a Timbit at Toronto's, or Canada's, I should say, donut franchise, there's milk products in donuts. Baking, yeah, it's ridiculous. Generally, there are very few vegans, or they're getting heavy, or they have to do a lot of exercise, it's fair to say. Now, you can be Atkins and vegan. It's very much hard. You may have to go, and you can adapt that over time. But generally, I'm telling you, it's very hard to be a true vegan as such. They go into something. I've gone into chicken livers as such to be healthy. Methionine is a restriction. Now, can you imagine the amount of sesame seed that you need to do? How do you find? I'm going to look today on what a sesame seed plant looks like. I mean, you're talking the size of sesame seed and the amount of sesame seed you need. I'm taking spoonfuls at 3 meals a day. Spoonfuls. Who is picking these? I don't want to butcher animals and such, but who? I would net an animal and not cut it as such, but I would eat something raw. I would eat a chicken, tear off its neck and eat a chicken well before I picked sesame seeds out of, or even sunflower seeds. Can you imagine sunflower seeds? Even better. Taking sunflower seeds out of a sunflower, opening them and eating the amount that's found in sesame seed butter. I mean, it's ridiculous. Even sunflower seed butter, which is easier, it's silly. I mean, I've done it, and you need methionine on some level because it's an essential amino acid. It's very hard. Egg, you can find in the mountains as such. Birds, bigger. So we're moving to higher animals in higher order as we're moving up into the Himalayas. Backtrack into the BC interior. Backtrack even lower into Europe, kind of Alps and such. There's mountains sort of spread out in Europe. Lower to higher, finishing in the Himalayas. We're getting on an arc, a true massive arc as such. Neil Young's After the Gold Rush, Final Destination in Europe, Final Countdown, Venus. And it's a hovering craft. We're not teleporting onto the thing or even getting beam me up, Scotty, as such. Star Trek kind of stuff. We're climbing up a ladder as such. We're getting on the ship. I may very well be the last one on Earth just to make sure we all get off the 144,000. If there's more, then we may need a major big Star Destroyer in Star Wars kind of thing. We're not blasting up. We're hovering. Propulsions are under the starship, just pushing up, just so it's hovering there. And then we're going out, a slow moving, not ascent, but across. As I did in yesterday's post, we're going out of orbit very slowly, like a Star Destroyer in Star Wars. If we have more than one, we're not creating war. We're building. Where are we going to build these massive Star Destroyers? You even start in Star Wars, you may not have known, in the desert. Now, we can't get sand in it as such. They got to figure that kind of stuff out, but that's where Elon Musk. We're not building up as such. We're building out. It's a Star Destroyer. We're horizontal rather than vertical. Now, look at these spaceships that we have as such that Elon Musk is putting together. SpaceX. Incidentally, SpaceX, very cool name. Stocks and such. I'm going to talk about a company that may seem valuable as it. I may even throw it in right here. But nature of such that seems valuable for some Elon Musk. I'm going to do that in the next video. It may be an affiliate that he may want to work on. So, Star Destroyer moving across rather than vertical up. These starships that he has at SpaceX, 144,000 sitting on one of those? Not quite. It looks like what would truly be a Star Destroyer, the big ships that are in Star Wars. And it's going out. Neil Young's dream, say after the Gold Rush, we're getting on spaceships and going to Venus. So the diet we know, It's not tropical. We're working that way anyways. We know we're working it. Beef and cattle is low form. We're going into goat, believe it or not. Goat is a red meat that makes sense. Emo, ostrich, not really. They're sort of desert animals. We're getting into sort of rabbit if they're up in the mountains. These kind of things. Don't worry about the Bible as whole foots unless we see nature. Snake, we know are what? In desert and such. There are lizards. We could eat lizards as such that are in the mountains and such. We're going to adapt to these kind of foods. Bats, like I say. Birds. Now notice the birds. Birds are way bigger up in the mountains. Eggs are way bigger. Alchemistry is different in the mountains, but that's what we're working towards, okay? We're licking salt off walls, eating gold, copper, silver, and stuff, the minerals that are in the mountains and such, and I'll talk about that in hands later.